Hello everybody, I had an epiphany today. Well, this is Slightly Slanted Sleuth coming at you from Oakdale, Minnesota. But I had an epiphany today and I don't really know quite how to convey it without it going on forever, because I've tried recording this video a couple different times now and it's dragging on, so I'm going to try again and bear with me. These images are just for backdrop, for something to look at while you hear my voice. And I'm going to just read up a couple excerpts off of this. I was going to read a whole tablet, but I don't want to bore you guys with my reading. Okay, in tablet 5 it speaks of, I'll just give you a quick synopsis. It speaks of the dweller of Unal. Now, in the past I have done videos on what Unal and Undal are. They were opposite islands in the Atlantic. You know, they were part of the Atlantis. They were one of the islands. I believe them to be the right and left half of the brain. Okay. Now, Tablet 5 is speaking directly about the light of creation, or Lucifer, or the Son of Man, the Son of God, in which is the light itself. This fire was not the fire of life, but the radiation caused by the junction of the space of the temple with the space of Amenti. Now, that statement right there caused me to have this thought like, wait a minute, that's like life and death, or night and day, good and bad, hot and cold, Pluto and Earth, Venus and Mars. Right? So the dweller is Horlet, which turns out Horlet is the master of cycles for Earth, the purveyor of the pyramid force of Earth, the one who is of the cycles, that is the master of cycles. You know, the Earth cycles, not cosmic cycles. He was the guardian of man's progress from one Earth cycle to another. Thoth asks for wisdom to be given him, so that he can pass the knowledge he is to be given to man. Thoth is promised eternal life, so that he may fulfill his purpose. He remained in the temple until he received his full illumination. Thoth uses the knowledge given him to penetrate the secrets of space, time, and matter, and in these discoveries, ever more and greater secrets. In the latter days of Atlantis, the great wave of consciousness which had once occupied the bodies of Earthmen had passed to Venus, and the consciousness which occupied the bodies of the mass were from Mars. These were more materialistic than the preceding consciousness, and looking to the darkness instead of the light, opened Yog-Sothoth, Thoth, the gateway to the cycle below. Some of the consciousnesses of the preceding wave were attracted by material power and entered into the plans. It was perhaps this part of their nature which had kept them from going on with their fellows. The one who opens the door to the cycle below must be a master, else he will not be so balanced in power that he can keep those from below from coming up. While men were doing this, the dweller was detached from his body and projected to where it was taking place. When the dweller saw this, which was the protector of the earth cycles, he caused Earth a great woe. And the dweller then descended to Amenti and passed from there to force chambers into the channel through which Earth's balance passes. And it says, see the inner Earth. When the pyramid of force passed, he drew upon the power of the seven and changed the balance of Earth from one channel to another, closed the old channel. Okay, now, and this is the same story as the Noah's Ark story. Thoth is called before the dweller and commanded to go forth to the lands still above water, taking those from Undal and removing the records of ancient wisdom. He is commissioned as teacher or conveyor of light. Thoth gathered together the records, scientific instruments, and machines with the wise men of Atlantis, entered a spaceship, and flew to Kem. The motive power of the spaceship was energy extracted from the sun and stored. Electricity is one form of this force, but qualified by emanations by the pyramid of force. When the spaceship had left, the dwellers sealed the temple and sank it and Undal beneath the waves. Unal is a temple and Undal is an island. He as the three then went elsewhere. He and the three then went elsewhere. So he and the three, the four. Thoth arrived in Egypt and conquered the barbarians. He then buried the spaceship and certain implements of warfare beneath a great rock, which was then carved as the Sphinx. When the time arrives that invaders from space attack the Earth, it will be brought forth to repel them. Thoth gives a key for opening the hidden passage. From the pyramid to the Sphinx, the same key will open the doorway to the room from which opens the path to Amenti. I'll leave that one open to her interpretation, but I think you know exactly where I'm going to go with that, because it's all is mind in the allegorical tale or algorithm of the book, or of the written word, of the symbolism of the day. The seven had come from beyond cycle time, which is limited, depending as it does upon radiation from the original infinite atom. The seven were part of the cosmic consciousness, which came forth from the I. Yod before we did were therefore formed while we were still part of disorder. They had developed past the man stage, though when they occupied this cosmic cycle, they were like men. Consciousness is the ultimate, as in the ultimate form, is formless and flexible, assuming any form of which it has conception. So that's like, it's like when you look at yourself in the mirror. It's opposite from what you're looking at, but it's the same. The same image reversed. On the horizontal, obviously, and not the vertical. Which is, for good reason, because our vision already sees things upside down. And inverts it. Or flips it over. Flip that, stick it in your pipe and smoke it. The cosmic consciousness which occupies the cosmic cycles beyond us were formed in ordered sequence, not all at once. There are 7 of these beyond us, that is farther out in space from the I, the one, Yod. These lords, though manifesting here, are still connected to their own cosmic consciousness. Infinity is but part of a greater space, which we call transcendental. When the I, Yods, have completed their extension into infinite space, they will join the torch bearer in transcendental space. The spirals of time, space, must be consciously known to one before he can move in them. When space and time are known, one has developed the power to move backward and forward in space and time. Life and death exist only as comparative terms. Everything has its opposite. Remove one pole and the other ceases to exist. In the plane of consciousness, in which the higher cosmic consciousness of 9 manifests, death is not known. Therefore, life is also not known. There is only existence, immortal and eternal, without change of focal point or of manifestation or loss of consciousness. When man conquers death, he also has mastered life, and to him both cease to exist. The Lord of the Nine is in his own plane, is timeless, for time is a result of the existence of materiality, and the 9th cosmic consciousness does not manifest a materiality. That is the pleroma, that is heaven, where God exists. The unknowing, indescribable, the soul of man is the flame which is bound to the mountain flesh. When we have become one with the I, Yod, in the final completion of the infinite circle, materiality in life, which is one with death, will cease to exist. In the eighth cycle, also, life and death are one of only eternal existence manifests. The eighth cosmic cycle is the cycle of light. For here the infinite light is concentrated upon the disorder sent from the ninth cycle, breaking it into divisions of kind which are transmitted to lower cosmic cycles as disorder changed to order is the basis of everything. Light is master of all that exists. Goes right back to our visual cortex, and I mean, without seeing it, doesn't really, you know what I mean? That's where it all comes from. Optics, opening, optics, eep, orc, eep, orc, eep, orc, that means I love you. Eep, orc, eep, orc, eep, orc, that means I love you. Anybody hip to the Jetsons know exactly where that came from. Enough of that nonsense. Sorry about that. I just kind of got sidetracked. Okay, now the disorder sent from the ninth cycle, breaking into divisions of kind which are transmitted to lower cosmic cycles as disorder changed to order is the basis of everything. Light is the master of all that exists. When the two parts of a unit of consciousness have become fully one, and the other parts have become one with the one, thus becoming all, it is not impossible to go forward into the higher cosmic cycle. Thoth states clearly that all parts of his unit are one when he says that this goal is the all thing. Thoth uses the prayer to light, but as always ends with a command. To the light, what we call form is formless. For only in the light does true reality exist. Thoth gives freely of his wisdom so that others may tread the same path. He commands his followers to ever keep their faces toward the light, turning their thoughts toward the master within. Thus shall they avoid the glittering promises of material power promised by the Dark Brothers. Think about that, guys. Mighty spirit of light that shines through the cosmos, draw my flame closer in harmony to thee. Lift up my fire from out of the darkness, magnet of fire that is one with thee all. Lift up my soul, thou mighty and potent. Child of the light, turn not away. Draw me empowered to melt in thy furnace, one with all things and all things in one. Fire of the life strain, and one with the brain. Love, peace, chicken grease, everybody. I hope this has enlightened you just a little bit anyway. But I love you anyway. Peace.